Peace and love, peace and love. Flowing and growing with Sister Nzinga here. Peace and love, everybody. It's so good to be here every Tuesday, coming and sharing and caring. We're here to emancipate ourselves from mental slavery because really none but ourselves can free our minds. We have to start thinking. Think, because it ain't illegal yet. You see what the world's going on and what's going on in the world, and man, shit is getting shaky. You know what I'm saying? We really have to start making some choices for ourselves. We really have to start making choices for ourselves. So I'm here today to just share, and but I first want to say thank you, thank you, thank you to those that subscribe. Man, it's a good thing. The numbers are moving up, and it's the only thing I'm concerned about the numbers is because I just want to just be able to get the word out. If I could just get one person to be able to make a change in their life for the betterment of themselves, not to follow me, but just to do a better version of yourself, because we're brought here and we have a mission, and some of us don't even go and think about what we're here for. But we really all came here for a reason, and we need to find out what that reason is. And so it's not about, to listen to me and say, do as I do. Oh, not absolutely not, because I'm still a student too. I'm learning. But this is just about to enhance, to empower, to just lift up someone else, along the way. They say each one teach one. So thank you for those that are subscribing, those that are commenting. And I really repeat people to just to comment, because I'm not here to you know, just badge you and give you information. I want you to let me know how you feel about it. Does it resonate with you? Do you don't agree? Do I need to be corrected? All that. This is a conversation. I'm having to hear it myself, but when I share it, I want to be able to have some feedback from other people too. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And those who push the notification button, that's cool, because as soon as I finish the video, you get a notice, and you just you go and you listen and you share. So I'm here early today. I said, I gotta get this done. I'm gonna go to my farm right now, which I'm loving, y'all. I'm telling you, the experience of being out in nature is such a beautiful thing, and it's really kind of inspired my conversation for today. So guys, imagine this, guys. Imagine this. We come to this world here, and you just come in there, and it's beautiful. You see trees and birds, and the animals all over the place. You got the fish in the ocean, birds flying, the bees buzzing, and the ants. On a little mission, because them ants. The more you get into nature, you really learn and you respect ants. They are such a collective somebody to watch and to learn from. Nature is so powerful. So imagine all that. You have all this beauty, you have all these beautiful things here, and then someone comes and just disrupts it. Because we are in a world where really, and I hope that you can understand what I'm saying, that we have everything that we need. If you are looking at your world or your life through the eyes of the Most High is abundant. And so that means that we are abundant. He has given us everything that we need here on this earth. So we have the food that we need. The fruit grows on the tree. The foliage grows. There's so many different greens that we can eat. It's out there in what we call the bush. That's so good for us, and it's much better than some of the basic ones that they tell you that we should eat. But there's so much other vegetation out here that is so good for us. There's fruit that can, you rub something on, you can heal yourself, or you can take the seed, because I'm learning about the avocado seed. We love avocados, but you take that avocado seed, and you what you call it, you ground it up and use it. Oh my gosh, it has so much enrichments in it. And then the sea moss is very important because that comes from the ocean. See, so these different things are given to us. Now we're just being aware of these things, now. But it's been around for a long time, but y'all, we haven't been taking advantage of the blessings that we have. There's so much stuff. Moringa trees, man. People always having all this problem with high blood pressure. If you just take some moringa on a regular basis, you won't have high blood pressure. I mean, and it's just really just that simple. So we have to learn the nature, the things that's out here that God has given us to live off of, so we can just have a better life, and a much easier life. Because see, the reality is that, okay, a long time ago, just like follow me with this little story. But it's a story. I'm making up the story, but I think it's really part of our reality, because everything that we need is here. So then, okay, so man comes, and looks at it and so on, and he says, okay, yeah, and so there was some people who was greedy, because the most important thing that we have to have is food and shelter. So okay, yeah, so you take the wood. Even with that, people are taking stuff from the bush and just cutting down the trees, to provide. You can make yourself a chair with it. You can make a table. You can even build your own house with the supplies that's there. Haven't you seen some of those videos where the people, some indigenous people, they take, some of the vines and use the vines to tie up stuff, and they just dig up the dirt and make a pool, and use different like things straight from the nature to live by. So this was the intention, I believe, of the Most High, that He gave us everything we need to provide clothing, to provide shelter for us. He definitely gave us all the food, and then the clothing. Well, hemp. Hemp is used for making clothing. People take leaves, and back in the day they use leaves to cover themselves up. But there's different things. The bananas, the little stuff that comes off the banana trees and the plantain trees. That stuff can be woven. They use it right now today to make pocketbooks, to make shoes, to make hats. So we have everything that we need. But it was somebody else's idea. Someone else's idea to come up and say, okay. And they saw these things. But the thing about it, they didn't even see, because they've never done this stuff, because they don't want to work. All they want to do is just direct people. So, but they had this idea to say, okay, it's there, it's plentiful, but I don't want them to go get it for themselves. I want them to come to me for it. So they just came and they just kind of just scraped up everything and put it in, contain some type of container, gave it a different name, and then they give it to us. So now we have to go to them for our food. It's unfortunate that some children, you ask them, where does food come from? And they just say, the supermarket. No, that's not where it comes from. That's not where it comes from. So these things were already out there, and then they just was just greedy. Even electricity is out there, and there's ways for us to gather electricity. There's ways for us to just get take moisture from the air and get water. So there's so many things that's there that we could use our resources and our natural resources to be able to attain these things for our lives. But somebody had this other idea, and they came and they just, they said they took over, and then, they didn't want to do none of the work to get the stuff, to get the cotton, to make the clothing. They didn't want to do nothing to they didn't want to do the work of digging for the gold that's there, for the cobalt, for all the minerals that's in the earth. All that stuff is already there. It was given to us as a people. But some people just were greedy, and they tried to hoard it all for themselves. So now they're telling us, in order for us to live, that you got to come to me. You want food. You got to come to me. You want clothing. You got to come to me if you want such and such. So do you see the scenario here? This is what we're in. We're in a trap. And that's why I say you have to think, because it ain't illegal yet, because we have to start thinking for ourselves. And then, now they've created narratives, and they've lied about who was here in America, because you guys got to do the research. All of us was not shipped on no boats from Africa to get here. Some of us was already here. We as a people, we do know that Lucy was the first sister that gave birth, and through there, everyone else came. So we know that when they all come back to everything, the African people, the people of what Africa is not even called, that's not even the real name of that land. So that place they call Africa, we ain't all come from there on no boats as slaves. We were already here all over the place. The Mayans, where they say that, is Mayan people, they make up these names of Mayan people. That was us, baby. The Chinese people, when you go and you see those big statues they have with people with big nose, big lips, that's us. If you do your history, you'll see that that we were everywhere. When you look at old historical pictures, they all are people of darker color, of a hue of a darker color, not the way they look right now. But that's a whole other story. And let me just keep on with my little other story. But do your research to find out these things. So they took and they just kind of like canned everything. So now we have to come to them. And then they created narratives. After they got the control of everybody, they took control of your mind. And it's unfortunate that the people who are enslaved us are the same people who are educating us. I mean, of course, not the same people, but the system that's in place. You follow me? The system that's in place to those because the power is still with these certain particular families, and so it was their great grandmama and papa. So, but they're still in the family, and they are still benefiting from this. To the point that we're still here. We are today, and so we live this life based on the narrative that they have created for us, but that's not our truth. That's not our truth. That's not who we are. That's not where we came from, and that's not the name of who we are. Every land of people every group of people come from a landmass. Why are the people of color the only ones who are not connected to a landmass? They say in Africa, but they give us a story that yeah, we're Africa, but now we're slaves. That's not how we started out. And there's some confusion in that story too, but it's not the point. But the point I'm making is that when you come from Russia, you still consider damn Russian. When you come from Indonesia, you still consider Indonesian. So but when the black people, we were niggas, Negroes, Afro Americans, all that kind of bullshit. Don't call yourself that because that's not who you are. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know who you are, just say, we do know that we are indigenous to this land. So some of our people came from there. Some of us did come from, the land, what they call Africa. But the important thing is to know that God created you and that you are magnificent because he don't make no mistakes. You see what I'm saying? So anyway, so now you have this system and that they have created, and they tell you got to come to them for electricity, you got to come for them for this, this is the star, and say, but they've trained us to the point because we have allowed them to educate us instead of us educating ourselves. They have created a narrative and they tell you that this is this. So when our children go through 12 years of school, which is, the 12th grades, that they have programmed us to the point that, we just think that we ain't nothing. All we do, we're lazy, we're shiftless, we ain't this, we ain't that, all the bullshit that they say. But, that's not true. That's not who you think you are. That ain't me. And once you get to know yourself, you're going to know that ain't you either. And that ain't your mama and your papa. When you look at the truth of our history, you see that we're resilient, and we have come through with all the different, like the Oklahoma thing, and I forgot the name of the all that stuff doesn't come to my mind, but the different situations where we had our own doctors, our lawyers, our banks, our da 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 da, and what did they do? They burnt the shit down. These people is evil because they see that we were thriving and taking care of our own self, but that's not what they wanted. They didn't want us to do that. So I got a phone call. This important phone call because I'm gonna wrap this up. So it's about my ride to the bush. So what I'm saying is that that's not who you are. So do some research about finding who you are and what the real name of Africa was and stuff like that. But the point is, I'm going to do this. I'm going to have to stop, and I'll be back. Hey, peace and love. I'm back. Peace and love, everybody. Where did I end up at? So I'm sorry about that, but yeah, I'm getting a ride up there now because my four-wheel drive is not working actually, and then even if it was, it's just rough up there right now because we're in a rainy season, and so I friends they have a neighboring farmer. They have one of those big husky trucks, and so when they go up, I get a ride up. So anyway, so I was talking about knowing who you are. I think I left off talking about that land that we call Africa is not really what it is and so forth, and that we have to learn things. But what I'm trying to tell you is that okay, so we have to come to them for this kind of synapse again. Everything was here. A way of life was already here. The things were provided. I was maybe a way of life wasn't there. Then that everything was provided, and the different ways of life have developed. And then the one that's trying to run things right now, the way he kind of got it going, he just took control of everything, all the resources, and controlling the resources. But these things were here. If you come like for instance, I live on this farm. Well, I don't live on this farm, but I have this farm. But when I come up here, I have everything I need. So I bring food, I bring water. I bring dishes, pots and pans. I have all those things here. So if I can come here and I can live. If I want to. So these things are here. We can live, but we already living this like this quote unquote is this modern thing. They got name brand, all these different names of stuff, and people think that if you got this stuff, that you're supposed to be something. I don't know. The only thing I think is that you broke because you spend so much money for what the thing is. Because the thing it does the same thing that maybe if you pay $50 for it, just as an example, it does the same thing maybe a $10 thing does, but it's just because it has that person's name on it. Can you think about that? Think it ain't illegal yet. Can you think about that? That when you buy name brand shit, I know I'm going off the tangent a little bit, but this is still all part of you understanding how some people has created this narrative, and then we just fall for it. And this is the mental slavery that we're in. So my example is, say a name brand something costs $50, but then just another one that just it ain't got a name brand, but it still does the same thing that the other does. I'm just saying for a can opener, okay. Okay, this can opener is $50 over here. This can opener here is $10. But what does it do? Does it open the damn can? Yes, it opens the can. And so sometimes we need things just to do the job. It don't have to have nobody's name on it. And when we do that, we're falling for the okey doke. We think that one's better. It ain't better. That's how these people getting rich. Can't you think that this is business that they running, y'all? They're not trying to provide this shit for you just, cause. It's a business and they're making money. That's why they're rich. Because some people would rather pay $50 for a can opener when another can opener does the same damn thing the other can opener does, but it only costs $10. But you think in your mind. See, it's all about your mind. You have to escape from this mental slavery. It's all in your mind thinking that one's better, but it's not. I mean, sometimes, okay, if I say 50 to 10, okay, then maybe buy the one that costs $20. But you ain't got to spend the one that costs 50 because, maybe that the little $10 was a little cheap thing. Okay, well, go somewhere in between, but don't buy just because it has a name brand on it. Because what you're doing, you're making people rich. And when you wear that, and when you if it's a product that you wear, when you're wearing that product, you're advertising for them. And advertisement in a business, if you could ask anybody who has a business, advertising is one of the highest categories on a person's spreadsheet because advertisement is expensive. But when people wear their damn thing, they ain't got to advertise because people are wearing it for it. Y'all, it's all a trick. Okay, getting back to the situation here. So what I'm saying is that so now everything that we need, we have to come to somebody. You gotta go buy this, whatever. And don't think that I'm not saying that that we need to stay and live back in the days where we had our houses were made of in huts and stuff like that. But because we are ingenious, we're creative. Look at all the wonderful things that we have created as a people. Because like I said, in the 12 years of school, you don't learn nothing about the fact that these little children that are 10 and 12 years old in different countries where brown and black people are, they're creating cars that are running on water. They're creating airplanes. They're creating something that does some type of machine that does something. That they're doing these things. We are ingenious. And so these things are going on, but you don't learn these things in the 12 years of school because they have their own narrative and their own agenda. And what they're trying to do is they're brainwashing you to think that this is the way the world is, when it really is not. That's why you have to educate yourself. Don't you, now that you see it on Twitter and this and that, you see how many black people is doing all kind of wonderful things. One time they had a school that was all black boys school. All them black boys graduated, with 4.0s, and all those boys, well, don't they have all 4.0, but all of them graduated and all of them got scholarships to go off someplace else. That's wonderful. We're doing wonderful things, but we don't see it in the advertisement because they don't want us to think that we're as wonderful as we are. But you got to know for your own damn self that where the power is. Take your power back. You got to know that you're powerful, that you are wonderful, and you're not what somebody says that you are. And so, anyway, getting back to the mental slavery, we have to see that it's mental slavery when you live in a system that is running right now. Because yes, you go out and get a job. That job pays you whatever the job pays you. And the more the job pays you, the more frills that you getting that you think is making you more better. But all you're doing is just the bigger the frill, the bigger the bill. You know what I'm saying? Because after you get that paycheck, you take it, you pay for your phone bill, your cable bill, your electric bill, your maybe the electric and gas, same thing. Your car payment, your insurance, your Netflix. I don't know, you got charge cards, you pay the charge cards, you pay blah, blah, blah. And I'm not saying that we ain't supposed to pay for things, but just think in the world, if we had just continued to use the resources that we had, and no one was controlling all the resources. It was just in laborly or just, culturally or whatever, you use what you use, and you wouldn't have to go to this one source for everything. But we have to go to all these people, and of course, this electric companies here, the phone companies over there, and the grocery stores over here. But you had to believe, but up top, all these people are connected in some way. All these people are connected in some way. Or it's like I said, it's a group of families that are up there that are owning all these things, and so we have to go to them for these things. So this is the mental slavery that you think that they come out with a new style. Oh, you spend your money on a new style. When they come out with a new TV, I always be making joke because I think it's crazy as hell that we have to pay so much for a refrigerator just because now the freezer's at the bottom. Okay, the refrigerator we just had the freezer at the top. Okay, that was cool, whatever. Now it's down the bottom. The freezer costs a whole bunch of money, lot more, because you think that you're getting something better. I mean, that's crazy as hell. It don't matter whether it's on the top or the bottom. It's still doing the same thing. You know, they had little drawers. They could have made the top of it better. Put a little more drawers out there and whatever. They could have did the same thing, left it up top. But of course, it's just you thinking, okay, you thinking you're getting something better because it's down here now. Now got me this car now. So you don't want to have no refrigerator in your house that got the thing at the top. Let me tell you something. My refrigerator at the top. My freezer part is at the top. It don't need to be on the bottom. I don't give a damn where it is. I just need the freezer to freeze and the refrigerator to refrigerate. You see what I'm saying? But we're caught up thinking that these things are much better if they, because they say this is the new one, and then you throw away your old stuff, you know what I'm saying? Then, and then I go to me and other people, we going right to Goodwill and get your stuff because you want to throw it away. I'm going right to Goodwill to get it. Because we think that we need these things and have to be name brand things, and then we always, even when we all this stuff that be on the this thing here, uh, they think you gotta show yourself when you're going somewhere that you got a new one of these things, and then when you go to go to a place that you have to show that I'm staying in this kind of place versus whatever other place that's available. Like you think that you all that because you're in this kind of place. But just think about this too. I know I'm getting off task, but these things is coming in my mind. I'm just on the roll right now. So if when you go to these places, and I ain't knocking nobody's thing. I'm just saying, but we have to think. It's okay to do it, but do it with some purpose, and some understanding that you're not being like hooky dooked. Because then you got to show. But most of the time you don't. If you go on vacation, unless you do go to chill out, you stay in a hotel and you want those luxury things, to have there, so you can enjoy those things because you're there. But if you're going to a place and maybe you're going to a concert, there's something going on, and then you're out every day, the only thing you're doing is sleeping there and taking a shower, you're wasting your money. You could just waste just get you a nice comfortable place that's going to do those things, because here we go again. It's about the function of the things. You need to shower, you need a clean bed, you need safety. You know what I'm saying? So right now on this particular trip, I'm going to be just get me a little simple something, because I'm every day we going out. We got this, going to do this on Monday, do that on Tuesday, and blah blah blah. But of course, if you want to go and relax yourself and enjoy the spa, stay at the hotel and enjoy the amenities, and then you treat yourself. But it doesn't have to always be that. You don't have to always show this shit on Facebook because just look at my room, like look at my farm. Whew, I love this, ain't y'all? I built this. I love it. But anyway, so my point. Let me just close this up. Is that we now, when you get your paycheck goes to pay for all those things, and it goes right back into these people that are controlling us. The people who are coming up with these ideas saying that these things is it, and that if you don't have it, that you shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's the mental slavery of you thinking that now people don't want to live in like on the neighborhoods that they grew up in, so forth, because they want to go move out in the suburbs and stuff like that. But you're just paying more money, to have a house. And of course, there are things that do come with that because of mentality, and I do understand all that kind of stuff too. But build your community back up. So, but the bottom line is, who you giving your money to, y'all? That's the mental slavery, because you think that this stuff is just so much better. The ice is colder on the other side, and all these kind of things. But if we would just come back, okay, and use our natural resources, and do the more productive things in our lives, where the money goes into our communities, where that money will go into schools for our children, where we can benefit from it. I ain't saying do your thing, but we have to think about where we spend our money at. And I didn't even go into the part about, the fact that they even got you to the point that they control all the grocery stores and they feed you. And then they feed you damn poison. Not this shit is not even good. And so we're just caught up. And I know I was all over the place now because I just was just, sometimes I get emotional about this stuff, and I guess probably was hollering a little bit. My children be saying, Mom, don't, why are you talking so loud? But, y'all, we must emancipate ourselves from this mental slavery. Don't value. The most important things in life are not things. So get things that you need, but then think about the fact of putting your money towards things that are going to be productive for you and your family, to start a business, to invest in, maybe you got one child that's just really, wonderful at dance, or, or playing the piano. Invest in that child. Put your money there. Put your money where you get gifts from. You ain't getting shit from them. You got a friend to talk to, a big mama in the neighborhood, always taking care of somebody, doing everybody's hair, or, something. Invest in that. I mean, invest in ourselves. And it's so important that we take and put our money back into black businesses, because our money needs to turn around our community. And the mental slavery part is about, like, no, because when we get that check, it goes out the door. Don't near black person, for the most part, in some people's, but maybe one or two or whatever. But most of our money ain't going to nobody that look like us. And so our money just goes in the bank and right back out. See, that's the illusion. It's a fucking illusion, y'all. You ain't got shit. Get some land. You just spending money on things that will depreciate. It's crazy. You buy a damn car and you take it off the lot and depreciate. If you just maybe somebody a tragic that happened in your life and and you need to now get some money to for somebody's funeral or whatever the certain circumstances may be. Did you take that thing back 5 days? Do you know the value of that thing is going to depreciate a lot? You are not going to get nowhere near. You're going to get you're going to get thousands of dollars less than what you paid because the fact when it goes off that lot, it depreciates. So you have to look at a lot of things that we do and that we buy. This is the thing that they didn't teach us this kind of stuff in school. They don't teach you shit that you really need to know. They just teach you this brainwashing thing to know and believe that what they fucking say is cool. It goes is the truth, and then you carry on believing that that this is the way the wars were. The way they tell you about how the wars was won and all that kind of stuff. Some of that shit ain't true. All in between there, we was doing stuff. Black people, we was fighting wars, and we was, they was winning because of us, and we was doing whatever. I'm going to get off a tangent again. I'm going to stop. Y'all, I love you. God loves you. I have to say that first.